What's up, internet land? So today we are building a pig pen, a mobile pig pen, a pig pen that we can move throughout the forest and clear out some of this land. So right behind you is a portion of our new build site for our barn dominium. We're going to expand it a little bit. Didn't quite get enough cleared, but we're close. You'll get to come along and watch all of that, and we're really excited for you to watch the formation of a debt-free homestead from the ground up. There's a lot of folks that I really love watching their shows and watching their channels, but it's all built, it's all done. They've got it all finished and they have everything they need, and they got massive sponsorships and new tractors and all the cool things, and I'm super happy for them, but we're doing it with basically nothing. So come along and hang out with us. But today we're prepping for meat shortages. Look, listen, the stores are unreliable. The supply chain is unreliable. The drought is getting super crazy. So we want to make sure that we have food to feed our family. And we're connected to basically 3 families on this hilltop. My family, the pretty blonde lady, and the goofy kid. And then we got my sister and her family across the road. And we've got my dad and my stepmom. And I want to make sure that we all have enough food to eat if poop goes sideways. So today we're building a mobile pig pen. We're gonna put it together a little differently than most. We're gonna shore it up a little differently than most, but we are gonna line it with some hot tape so that they get trained to electric fence, so that hopefully we can just keep expanding their area of operation. And then this pen itself is gonna be mobile. So about every 7 to 10 days, we're gonna move this pen one pen over. Not quite a tractor, because it's going to take some assembly, disassembly every time, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We want you to come along and hang out with us because, gosh, I know that I needed help as I was learning how to do this. Maybe you need some help learning how to do this, but we're really excited. So come along. We're going to build a pig pen today and have a good time. I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking to yourself, why do you want pigs right behind your brand new homes, your brand new home build? Well, we don't. But what we do is just want to make sure that some of this land is cleared out, reset, maybe a little bit more grass. So that's going to be really great. Ultimately, these pigs will be in the freezer long before that barn dominium gets finished. So no pig stink right behind the back door. Panels up. Now when we stand the panels up, you see how there are little squares and there are big squares?
Yes, sir.
Where do you think the little squares go?
On the bottom.
Why?
Because then if the pigs try to burrow under, the panels are closer so they can get through.
Well, it's not about them burrowing under, because if they go under, they go under. That
Yeah.
bottom line is the same as that bottom line. But while they're little, the smaller squares keep the pigs from being able to squirt through the holes.
Ah, okay.
So a little pig can probably most likely squirt through this size hole.
Yeah, probably.
But they're probably not going to squirt through these size holes.
Yeah. Okay.
So there you go.
Get it.
So when I ask you to stand up a panel, which side is going down?
Small side is going down.
Okay. So, can you push your panel that way just a little bit? As much as they would like to eat this tasty little tree, I don't want to deal with it for the electric fence. So there you go. Probably a little bit more.
Yep.
Keep going. All right. Okay, so we're going to use this, it's not actually called wiggle wire. Wiggle wire is mainly for greenhouses,
Right.
but we'll call it wiggle wire for today. Okay, as you can see, we got 2 more panels here. We got our box just done. You just watched the time lapse of us finishing up the initial pin. What we're doing, why we have 2 extra panels, and you're thinking to yourself, well, why didn't you just give them a bigger pin? Well, their pin's gonna get bigger every week, so it's gonna change every week. So what we're gonna do is we've got these 2 pieces waiting in reserve for, we can just stitch them onto the end of this, move the end piece down. You'll see how all that works next week. We'll show you a video of changing the pin. But it's going to be really cool the way this whole thing works out. So we can actually go ahead and stitch on our panels to the ends of this, have our pin half built, and then all we have to do is collapse one wall of the pin and they'll be in their new box right here. So when we pop this wall and move it straight down, the pigs never really have any danger of being out. And because neighbors in farming country do not like it when pigs escape. They are not fans of that. So we'll have our next week's pen half built. So with very little effort, we'll be able to just reset, feed them on this side, move their water down, be good to go. Okay, for this next part of the project, I had to find a little bit of shade because it's already getting stupid, ridiculous hot out here. So what you're gonna need for this is just a standard bulkhead fitting. You're gonna need a hole saw. This one's just a slightly too big. I'm not excited about it, but it's looks like it's still gonna leave a lot of material for seal. I might change my mind and go with one that's a little too small. And then a couple 1/2-inch nipples for screwing into the bulkhead thing, okay? And then they'll get to bite on this guy. And I'll show you later the extensive training process to get pigs used to using these guys. So there you go. Okay, we got our barrel here. We're gonna drill ourselves a hole. Thanks, buddy. Now we want to make sure to clean around this because we just created a bunch of fragments. So let's take our pocket knife. And all of that will create a leak if we're not careful. My knife needs to be sharpened.
Think you did that, bro? You want me to go grab mine?
No.
Okay.
Now, if you had yours in your pocket and you just were to open it and hand it to me, maybe I would use your knife. But the fact that you do not have it in your pocket, I know right where your knife is. Do you?
Yes.
Where?
It's right on the edge of my bed.
Oh, which knife are we talking about?
The one that Mr. Philip gave me.
Oh.
My leather knife.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is why I love Diablo. Watch this, buddy. You just take this whole thing off like that, and then you can just whoop, pop it out. And then this is a speed chuck, so the Diablo ones just switch right out.
Stick it right on there.
Super nice. You have no idea how far the world has come. Wish I had made that a little higher, but that's all right. Let's turn up the juice. All right, Trip, let's pop that lid up, stand this barrel up. We're gonna send you inside.
Okay. Inside the
These were
barrel.
just had almond butter in these things, so it's not like you gotta get in with chemicals or anything weird like that.
So it's not good.
Before internet land tries to crucify me for being a terrorist tyrant.
When I was at work for Huntco, I used to buy those for trash cans.
Yeah.
And they had like this much red wine in the bottom of them. Tear your head off. A couple of the guys got to figuring it out, and they got to drinking that damn stuff.
Oh man, it had to be basically
Oh,
vinegar
my
by
God,
then.
man, that stuff was stout, man.
Here, take these, Trip. Go inside.
Still inside.
So you want to make sure that when you tape these, that you go clockwise around righty-tighty around the threads,
Yes, sir.
just like you're screwing it in, because if you don't, then you will press the tape off when you tighten it up.
I see. It's getting a little slippery.
So, what we're gonna do here is grab that.
Do you want me to adjust it? No, you got it. Ah, I see.
Good and snug. I wonder if I can get one more time around without messing it up. So we want this piece to the bottom of the barrel. That way the water drains out that way.
And it just rides that.
Yeah, exactly. Find a semi-flat spot. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is kind of prep this thing for the electric fence portion of this. So we're gonna do a low, a medium low, because these are little pigs. And then we're gonna do a top run so that if like a coyote or something tries to put its nose up over the fence. What do you think of the piggies?
They're cute.
Yeah?
For a while.
For a while.
No,
I don't know, even the
they'll
big
be-
ones.
Yeah, even the big ones that we saw this morning were still pretty good looking.
Especially Charlie.
Yes.
Big old boar.